today's episode, we're covering a long list of topics. We have an update about when the next event will be, an update on new exclusives, the Walmart Collector Con, the G.I. Joe Classified pipeline, and brand new insight on the most recent G.I. Joe Classified reveals, including the Cobra ferret and the retro card line. First up, let's talk about the next event for G.I. Joe Classified. We expect the next G.I. Joe fan stream to be held on Thursday, April 4th. We expect releases of the retro card line, the Cobra ferret, and possibly the Mad Marauders line. When we have more information, we'll be sure to pass it along. Next, let's talk about exclusives for 2024. Now that the Cobra ferret has been revealed, it's worth mentioning that we believe the Tiger Paw may be released in fall 2024 for a Target Geek Out event. Many have wondered if Lifeline will be included as the Tiger Paw's driver. We do not expect that will be the case. For now, the driver is expected to be Sabretooth, also known as Wreckage, also known as a G.I. Joe repaint of Firefly. Sabretooth was originally planned for the 1988 Tiger Force lineup but later cancelled. In 2003, the figure was released as part of a Tiger Force set with the name Wreckage. Whatever the case, we believe that this character will be included with the Tiger Paw. Also, Raptor is rumored to be this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Meanwhile, Starduster is rumored to be this year's PulseCon exclusive. You may recall that we've been speculating for a while that Starduster might be a convention exclusive this year and that he's going to include something extra. We'll find out soon enough. What we know for sure is that Starduster will be a deluxe release. And here's some other information that we do know. All of Starduster's traditional accessories have recently been made for other figures. This includes Retro Duke's helmet, the Steel Core Trooper's jetpack, Gung Ho's grenade launcher, and the Duke body mold. Starduster will be a deluxe figure, but what does this mean? In the recent past, deluxe figures like Chuckles and Dr. Mindbender were considered deluxe mostly due to their specialty packaging. Meanwhile, other deluxe offerings such as the Snow Serpent, Tripwire, and Snow Job earned that label due to the amount of accessories and secondary parts which were included. However, we have reason to believe that the Starduster Deluxe set will include a larger add-on, similar to Scrap Iron and the Anti-Armor Drone, and the Hiss 788 Techno Viper and SMS. In short, we believe that Starduster will be one of this year's convention exclusives, and that he will be paired with the Jump Launch Pad and some blast effects. Given that the Steel Core Troopers already include Jump Jetpacks, which are interchangeable with any other figure, the Jump Launch Pad would instantly become the centerpiece of any display. Given the recent nods to history, like Sergeant Slaughter including a mini Sarge figure, or even the Crimson Strike team and Chuckles having related packaging, there might be another way to make Starduster even more special and memorable. The first version of Starduster was a mail-in exclusive tied to the G.I. Joe Action Stars serial in 1985. In a perfect world, we will receive Starduster with a jump launch pad contained inside cereal box design plastic-free packaging. The jump launch pad will certainly result in a much higher price point, and we understand that will already be the case with Starduster. And before we move on, we invite you to quickly do us a favor and smash that like button to show your support for the show and the work that we put into it. Next, let's talk about the Walmart Collector Con. This event will be held online during March 14th and 15th, and there will be a sneak preview the week before on March 7th. Night Force is the current and only Walmart exclusive line, according to Hasbro and retail listings. If and when that does change, we'll let you know. We're expecting that the following Night Force variants will join the line, and we wouldn't be surprised to see some of these announced at the Walmart Collector Con. Night Force Outback, Shockwave, Chuckles, Falcon, and possibly others. We've spoken several times about Night Force Outback and Shockwave, and we've also mentioned that Night Force Falcon should not only have a new head, but that Hasbro would be wise to include a separate head sculpt as well. I don't expect that Hasbro will do this, but they should. Other options could include two figures that we have reason to believe are on the way in 2024-25. So let's quickly talk about each one of them. It's no coincidence that Mole Rat's body mold is an ideal fit for Airtight, right down to the bagginess of the outfit and even matching pockets on both outfits. Furthermore, from a sculpting and design standpoint, there's even more smoke to this. Mole Rat's shin swivel is cut exactly where Airtight's longer boots begin. Take a closer look at the orange section of Mole Rat's lower leg. It serves no purpose. We expect that Airtight will reuse Mole Rat's body, while removing the orange section beneath the shin swivel and replacing that with longer boots like Airtight wears. We also expect that Airtight will obviously get his standard gloves, which in this case would cover up his forearms. Even Mole Rat's backpack and the hose which connects to his gas mask appear to be a natural fit for Airtight if Hasbro wants to reuse that as well. That said, we believe that Airtight might receive a brand new backpack which is part of a brand new accessory mold for him, and which also includes his handheld sniffer apparatus. Upon close examination, it becomes more and more apparent that Hasbro had Airtight in mind when they first designed Mole Rat. Reusing body molds is one way that Hasbro maximizes its profits, and on their side of the fence, it's a smart move to consider what new characters they can create by kit-bashing their own designs. If not for Airtight, it's very possible that Mole Rat would have never been created in the first place. The other figure that could be a match here for both Night Force and Classified is Muskrat. We included Muskrat on our 2024-25 predictions episode, and we have an image of what appears to be Muskrat's bush hat. In terms of reuse alone, Muskrat should include CoverGirl's shotgun, Copperhead's machete, and a Swamp Skimmer boogie board. We expect that a Night Force version will join Classified as well, and this would feature a navy vest and black pants. On the Cobra side, we haven't heard anything new. We've already predicted that the Night Viper is going to join Classified in 2024-25, and the Walmart exclusive Night Force theme line is a very suitable way to introduce Night Viper. Let us know if you agree. The Alley Viper has already received a redeco version for the Walmart line, and there could easily be different versions of Night Viper in Classified. A red and black Night Viper would make a lot of sense for both the Walmart line or even the Hiss Fire team. But for now, this is just speculation. Next, let's talk about the new pipeline figures. The three that were just announced at the last event were Dial Tone, Saw Viper, and then a throw-in at the very end was Frag Viper, but this won't be coming anytime soon. We expect Dial Tone and Saw Viper to be released as part of a wave with Leatherneck and Xandar possibly in or around January 2025. Dial Tone is a popular character, meanwhile Saw Viper has a storied history in the comics, and Frag Viper, well, he's on the list too. Let us know how you feel about Dial Tone, Saw Viper, and Frag Viper. Next, over to the Tiger Force 2-pack of Roadblock and Tripwire. In the render image on the back of the packaging, there is a Watchtower playset in the background, but this is likely just included for fun, not as a hint of what's on the way. Next, over to the Cobra Ferret. We finally have confirmation that the Ferret Scout is indeed a redeco of the Cobra Valkyries. The helmet features two prongs underneath the brim of the visor. These are supposed to look like the fangs of a cobra. The Ferret Scout is also the figure that we see in the distance of a Vamp diorama image, emerging from behind a wall to fire at clutch. According to Hasbro, all logos and graphics on the Ferret will be applied as tampos, not stickers. It's unclear at this point if the winch on the front of the Ferret will be usable or if it's just there for design. Next, over to the retro card Snow Serpent. In terms of what's different, let's talk about the accessories. This version has Dusty's backpack and rifle. It has the same handguns, snowshoes, and visor as the exclusive Snow Serpent. The web gear is now colored cobalt blue instead of a dark navy. Then over to the retro card Cobra Eel. What's different? Well, we go to the source as often as possible to get our information, and according to Tony from the Hasbro team, here is what he did differently with the Cobra Eel. The outfit has a brighter red, the skin tone is different, this time around the Cobra Eel is Caucasian, and the harpoon gun rope is blue this time instead of red. According to Hasbro, those are the only differences. Over to the retro card Beachhead. This features reuse of the satchel and smoke grenades from the retro card Snake Eyes. There's also some reuse of the vintage Firefly's firearm. Beachhead's red beret is folded up and tucked into the secondary gear over his left shoulder. This Beachhead has brown eyes and thicker eyebrows. He also has the same crossbow as the Cobra Island version, and this is because it was made to fit perfectly into the backpack. He has new holsters attached to his belt, and for the body there's reuse of the Stalker and retro Snake Eyes torso and arms. Over to the Techno Viper and HMS. The SMS has now been renamed the HMS. Hasbro said that the rockets were originally going to be 12 inches long. Instead, they're 9 inches long. Now over to the new Diarama Images. On a disappointing note, the images for the latest wave of Classified have a lot less effort put into the posing and presentation of the figures. This includes the images of Jinx, Doc, Torch, Night Creeper, Nagahide, and the Tiger Force 2-pack of Tripwire and Roadblock. These are a lot less realistic and lifelike, and as a result, they appear a lot more like action figure statues as opposed to characters which have been brought to life. It's a subtle difference, but it's definitely noticeable in a lot of these images. There was clearly not a lot of effort put into this like we've seen in recent waves. To this point, there are a lot of images of Roadblock just standing around, or Tripwire just standing around, or Torch standing in the same position while his flame blast effects are switched out. or even Night Creeper holding the same stance in multiple images while just changing the accessories in his hands. Whenever the figures have basic poses like a lot of these new images, there's almost always the same common denominator involved. For this wave, Hasbro reused a studio setup that was previously used with Stalker, the Alley Viper, Cobra Bat, and others. All of these images are blown away by the much more realistic images for the Techno Viper and HMS, images for the Vamp, the Dragonfly HasLab helicopter, battle scenes involving Grunt, Mutton Junkyard, the Hiss Tank, the 60th anniversary, the previous wave of Big Boa, Airborne, Techno Viper, and Quick Kick, and the upcoming images for the Cobra Ferret, which have not yet been released but will be soon. Going forward, we hope to see higher effort images like the ones I just mentioned, as opposed to the statuesque ones for the latest wave where figures are just standing around looking like uninspired action figures. Over to Doc. In the packaging artwork for Doc, Hasbro reused the same background image used for the Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Then over to Night Creeper. On the back of the Night Creeper packaging, the creepers are climbing up the Statue of Liberty in reference to the comics. Then over to Jinx. Jinx has a sleeveless outfit for two reasons. Lenny said he wanted to give her an edge, but she also did appear sleeveless in a few issues of the comics. And secondly, Hasbro is saving the full sleeves vintage look for a retro card Jinx, except the retro version will likely have a red blindfold instead of black in order to match G.I. Joe the movie, and it might also possibly feature some reuse of Quick Kick's backpack. Hasbro's been calling Jinx's staff a naginata. Whether everyone agrees with that, it's not really a big deal. Someone in the comments told me that it's a Chinese style polearm. Indeed it is. But that said, we do share details based on what Hasbro says. Either way, I don't think anyone really cares what it's called, so long as it looks good and is made well. We can all agree that Jinx's accessories do suit her well, look good, and make sense. Then over to Torch. We gave you a heads up that Lenny would provide an explanation for why Nox was misspelled on Torch's backpack. Lenny took a moment during the fan stream to explain that Nox is spelled wrong because Torch just doesn't know how to spell. Kind of a lame payoff for that kind of detail. And as always, we want your takes in the comments section. Today's Viper Island question of the day is, from 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, what is your excitement level for G.I. Joe Classified right now? We'd love to hear from the community and check in with you. So whatever your thoughts are, sound off in the comments. And be sure to let us know what your excitement level is from 0 to 10. My name is Liam. You can follow me on Instagram at Viper Island. For all things G.I. Joe, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to support the show, smash that like button. Until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, have a great day, and yo Joe!